Myself Dr. Shailen Sinha. I am professor in the mechanical department at IIT Lucknow. I welcome you all in this lecture of steam turbine, in which basically we will cover the simple impulse turbine. Objective of this lecture is that at the end of this lecture you should be able to understand the working of the simple impulse turbine. You should be able to draw the velocity triangles, how the velocity triangles can be drawn for the simple impulse turbine, and you should be able to draw the calculation of performance parameter, work done and energy calculation with the help of the steam velocity diagram. Steam turbine is a device which converts the high pressure and temperature energy of the steam into useful shaft output work, and that output work can be utilized for running the generator of the electrical generator or producing the electricity or some other purpose. Most of the turbines which we are using practically today are just named depending upon their inventor, such as we have seen here the simple impulse turbine, that is also known as D level turbine. This turbine is named after its inventor, which is a Swedish engineer in 1878. He invented this turbine, and on this name this D level turbine is going to be there. Similarly, pressure compounded turbine, that is known as the Rétio turbine, it is on the name of a developer or the inventor, that is the Auguste Rétio. It was the French engineer, developed it in 1900. Similarly, velocity compounded turbine, that is based also known as the Curtis wheel, based on this Charles G. Curtis, and whatever the special type of the reaction turbine, that is the Parsons reaction turbine, based on the name of its inventor Charles A. Parsons. So, most of the turbines are just named depending upon their inventor. Now, we come to the classification of the turbines. As we have clear here, we can classify the steam turbine in many ways. Some of that ways we have listed here. One of that is the direction of flow. The steam which is flowing, what is their direction, whether it is radially flowing, whether it is tangentially flowing to lower to the runner or the blades, or it is flowing axially. Based on that we can classify radial, tangential and the axial turbine. Similarly, the action of the steam, what is the principle of working, what is the blade passes through which the steam is passing, depending upon that we can classify whether it is an impulse turbine or the reaction turbine. Turbine stages, again, whether it is a single turbine is going to be there, or a number of turbines are coupled, or number of rotor blades are coupled to be there. Based on that we can classify as the single stage turbine or the multi stage turbine. Then again the flow arrangement, whether the tandem arrangement is there, whether both side flow arrangement is going to be there, we can classify the turbine, and of course based on the application for what purpose it is going to be used, we can classify the steam turbine. Now, we come to the simple impulse turbine working, what is construction, what are the main parts of the simple impulse turbine. As clear here, simple impulse turbine, it consists of one set of nozzle and one set of the moving blade. This is the cut section of there, this is the nozzle part, and this is the moving blade. Moving blade is keyed to the shaft, and this nozzle is keyed to the casing. Casing means it is the fixed thing, nozzle is not moving, it is attached to the casing. Blades are moving, they are attached to the shaft. As the blade rotates, it rotates the shaft, and we get the output power from the shaft. Similarly, as we discussed, it is converting the high pressure and temperature energy of steam into the mechanical work. How it is converting? First, that high pressure and temperature energy steam expands in nozzle, where on expense of the pressure, expense of the temperature or the enthalpy, it gains the kinetic energy, or the velocity of the steam which is coming out of the nozzle is increased. Here we can see at the entry of the nozzle, velocity is very less and pressure and temperature is going to be very high. As it expands, pressure, temperature drops, and that energy converted into the kinetic energy, and the velocity of the steam is increased. Then this high velocity steam impinges on the turbine blade. As it passes over the passage of the turbine blade, due to change in direction and the velocity, certain amount of impulse or force is going to be developed, and that force is responsible for rotating the wheel, and when the wheel is rotated, then the shaft is rotated and we get the output at the shaft output. So, here components nozzle, where the pressure, temperature, that is converted into high velocity, then this high velocity steam passes over the moving blade. This passage is going to be there, where it does certain amount of work and its velocity decreases, and finally, it is going to be exhausted to the atmosphere or the condenser. So, if we see, we have to do the calculations regarding there. If we see here again, what is the principle of working? In the case of this, we can say simple impulse purpose. Suppose this is a blade and fluid with velocity v is entering, there is no friction, it comes out with a velocity v. Suppose this is blade is moving with velocity u, then we can find out what is the force. Force is nothing but the change of momentum, or we can write down it m by v, m by t, sorry, not the v, and dv. So, this will be mass flow rate and v 2 minus v 1. This is the force is going to be there, and this force we can find out here. Whatever the force is produced, force is going to, we can write down as, it will be twice m dot, that is m by t, v minus u, and Worden is the force, or this can be write down as m by t, force into the distance travelled in the direction of the force. So, distance travelled in the direction of the force, we can write down here twice m by t dx v minus u. Distance travelled is nothing, dx by t, that is the velocity of the blade. So, that we can write down m dot twice v minus u into u. So, this is the work and this is the force. If we plot it with respect to u, how the blade velocity is changing, what is the force, we see initially what is happening. When u is 0, force is going to be maximum, and when u is going to be equal to v, force is going to be 0. And the Worden, when u is 0, Worden is 0. When u is going to equal to v, then this term is going to be 0, again the Worden is going to be 0. So, Worden is somewhat between, this is maximum, and for this when we will differentiate this with respect to u and put it 0, we will find that at u is equal to v by 2, Worden is going to be maximum. So, variation of Worden is going to be like this, and this is going to be maximum at v by 2. So, here we can say for maximum Worden or the maximum efficiency, what is there, the blade velocity should be half of the velocity of the steam, and as blade and steam both are moving, then here we have to construct the velocity diagram for that. How the movement is there? Suppose this is the nozzle, and from nozzle a steam is going to be coming out from the nozzle, and as it comes out with a velocity v, this blade velocity, blade is moving in this direction at velocity u. As it comes out here, blade will move to this point. When it passes over there, as it moves over the blade profile, then it travel with the relative velocity, which is the this one. So, we construct the velocity diagram, and when here it passes over the blade, it is going to be turned and going to be out. This is the, this velocity, it is going out, this is the blade velocity. When we subtract from this relative velocity to the blade velocity, we will get the absolute velocity. So, these two triangles, one is at the inlet and one at the outlet, we get relative velocity triangles from the blade. Here some of the terms are going to be there. V is used for absolute velocity, similarly Vr for relative velocity, Vf for flow velocity, Vb is the blade velocity, alpha is the nozzle angle at which it comes from the nozzle, that angle is alpha. Beta and gamma is the blade angle at inlet and outlet, theta is the angle at which V0 leave, V0 means absolute velocity leaves the outlet of the blade. Here suffix I and O is used for representing at the inlet and outlet. Suppose Vi absolute velocity at the inlet, Vo absolute velocity at the outlet, Vr absolute velocity at the inlet, Vro absolute velocity at the outlet. Similarly, for the other we are using the symbol. So, suppose this is the blade which is moving with blade velocity Vb, this is the nozzle which is at angle alpha, steam comes out from the nozzle with a certain absolute velocity, that is the Vi, I is at inlet. This is the blade velocity. When subtract from there the blade velocity, whatever this is called the relative velocity. So, this is the velocity triangle at the inlet. Similarly, when it leaves the blade outlet, then whenever there is leaving the blade, it is in the direction of the blade angle, that is the relative velocity, this is going to be there, and this is subtract this relative velocity into the plus the blade velocity, it will give you the absolute velocity. This is the absolute velocity of the blade. So, this is the angle of the blade at the inlet and this is the angle of the blade at the outlet. So, these are the velocity diagram at the inlet and outlet. Here how we will draw the velocity diagram? Here we can see one thing, whether at the inlet or the outlet, blade velocity is same, because it is tangential velocity of the blade at the mean height, and it depends upon the diameter of the blade and the RPM of the wheel, which is constant. So, blade velocity, this Vb is same in both the case. So, we can club these two diagrams on a single base, that is the Vb is the blade, this is the inlet velocity diagram and this is the outlet velocity diagram. This is absolute velocity at the inlet. As it passes over the blade, so we design the blade in such a manner that when steam flows, the relative velocity, whatever the angle it makes with the tangential direction, that is the blade angle. Only then it is possible, it is just only to glide, it is not producing any shock on the blade. So, this is the blade angle at the inlet, this is the blade angle at the outlet. So, for drawing velocity diagram, first step is that we should know what is the blade velocity. Blade velocity we can find out by pi d n by 60, where d is the diameter of the blade, n is the RPM of the wheel. Similarly, the steam velocity at the inlet V I, that can be find out as nozzle efficiency into delta H isentropic enthalpy drop into nozzle. From here we can find out the what is the velocity at the exit of the nozzle, and if certain inlet velocity to nozzle is given, then certainly V 1 square is going to be there, and this will be 2 into delta H. From here we can find out the velocity. So, V I is known, V B is known. First step, draw a horizontal line, cut a line segment A B, which is equal to the magnitude of blade velocity. At an angle alpha, draw a line from here and cut it with the magnitude of V I, which is known to you. Then we will join this point to this. Whatever this is representing V R I, and this is the blade angle at the inlet. And if blade angle at the outlet is given, draw a line from here at the same angle outlet, and this V R O relative velocity at outlet, that will be equal to your k times V R I, where k is the blade velocity coefficient, which covers whatever the frictional losses are going to be there. So, k times V R I we can draw here and we can join it here. It will complete your velocity triangle. Now, how will you find out some energy calculations, work done, etc. from this velocity triangle? So, these are the some of the equations and some of the things which we have to find out. Work output, power output is going to be there, blade efficiency, diagram efficiency or utilization factor. These three things are going to be same. Somewhere it is mentioned as the blade efficiency, somewhere it is mentioned as the diagram efficiency, and somewhere it is mentioned as the utilization factor. All three things are going to be same. Another term is the stage efficiency. Some of the energy is lost due to the friction, that is converted into heat in the blade, that we can find out. So, suppose your velocity diagram, this is the velocity diagram, this is V I, this is V R I, this is V B, and this is V R O, and this is V O. These are at angle inlet angle beta, outlet angle gamma, this is the nozzle angle alpha, this is the theta. We have to find out the force. Force is nothing but the change of momentum, or we can say it is m by t V 2 minus V 1, and this is the momentum, what is the force on the steam jet. Reaction of that will be on the blade, that is the negative of that. So, it will be V 1 minus V 2. Now, V 1 V 2 is the velocity. Now, here we can see what is happening, this V 1 V I V O, it is having certain angle, it is having two component. One component of V I is in parallel to the direction of the motion of the blade, another component of the V I is perpendicular to the direction of motion of the blade. So, if we have to find out work done, then work done is the force into distance travelled, means in which direction blade is going to be moving, or whatever this component, this is known as VWI, or the whirl component of velocity at the inlet. Whirl component of velocity means the component of velocity which is responsible for whirling of the wheel, whirling of the rotor, which is responsible for rotating the wheel. So, this is in the direction of blade motion, whatever the component, that is the whirl component. Another component perpendicular to direction of blade motion, or you can say in the direction of the axis of the turbine, which causes the flow of the steam through the blades, that is called the flow component. So, this is flow component represented by Vf, I is for inlet, similarly this is Vf for outlet, and this is Vwo. So, what is the change in whirl component in the direction of wheel, that will produce in force in the direction of the wheel. So, that is u is the blade velocity or Vb. What is the force in the direction of the wheel? M dot T into Vw1 minus Vw2. Vw1 is direction this one, Vw2 is direction this one, both are opposite, so it will be plus. So, general sign we can write down m by T Vw1 plus minus Vw2, or we can say Vwi plus minus Vwo. This is Vwi and this is Vwo, or the distance between these two peaks, horizontal distance, that is delta Vw, and that is nothing Vwi plus minus Vwo. To force, that is delta Vw, this is in the direction of the wheel. Work done is force into distance moved. So, force is this one, distance moved dx, dx by t is nothing but the blade velocity Vb. So, we can write down m into delta V W into Vb, that is the work done by the wheel. Power developed, work done per unit time divided by the time t, delta V W Vb, this is the power developed. Now, the efficiency of the wheel, efficiency is nothing what is the output from the wheel and what is input to the wheel. Output from the wheel is the work done by the wheel, input from the wheel whatever the kinetic energy is going to be supplied. So, efficiency or the utilization factor, that is nothing but the work done divided by the energy supplied, means what is the kinetic energy associated with the steam, that we can write down for unit mass of the steam half mvi square, or a half unit mass Vi going to be this one. So, work done upon 2 Vi square, that is the blade efficiency, and we will put here, so blade efficiency is going to be twice Vb delta Vw upon Vi square. Axial thrust, force in the direction of axis of the turbine. So, here change in the momentum in the axis of the turbine, that is Vfi minus Vfo, that will be the axial thrust, m by T Vfi minus Vfo. Stage efficiency is nothing but the stage efficiency is in a complete stage. One stage of the turbine means one set of nozzle and one set of moving blade. So, whatever the work done and input to the stage is isentropic enthalpy drop in the nozzle, that is the stage efficiency, and we can write down is work done upon half Vi square into half Vi square upon delta H Si. This is nothing, this is the blade efficiency, and this is nothing, this is the nozzle efficiency. So, stage efficiency is nothing but it is the efficiency of the multiplication of the efficiency of the blade and efficiency of the nozzle. Now, similarly, blade height, this is the wheel and suppose this is the blade. Steam is flowing perpendicular to this. So, what is the area of flow? If we neglect the thickness of the blade, area of flow will be mean diameter pi d into h, height of the blade. If the thickness we will consider, then it will be pi d minus n into t into h, where n is the number of blades and t is the thickness of each blade. So, neglecting the thickness, the area of flow will be pi d h. Mass flow rate we know, that equation where this is the specific volume small v, A is going to be pi d h, mass flow rate is known, specific volume, pressure temperature condition at the turbine condition is known to you, we can find out the specific volume. With the help of that we can find out the area, and with the help of that area d is clear, we can find out the height of the blade. energy converted to heat means when the steam is flowing over the moving blade, certain friction is there, and what is the effect of that friction? Relative velocity at the outlet is somewhat less than what is the relative velocity at the inlet. So, whatever the loss in the relative kinetic energy, that is going to convert it into the heat due to friction, and that we can find out m by T V r I square minus V r I square divided by 2, half m v square. Similarly, we can find out here. So, this is some of the things. Now, we see as the blade speed is changing, whatever their efficiency of the wheel is changing. The condition for the blade speed to the maximum efficiency, one term is going to be there, that is the blade speed ratio. This rho is nothing but it is the speed of the blade divided by the absolute velocity of steam at the inlet. K V r I, that is V r O, and this is V o. This is the velocity angle. The blade efficiency we can write down as we have seen V v B w plus we have derived it earlier, where this delta V w, that is your V w I plus that can be written, delta V w is nothing but this one, this is the delta V w. It can be written as V r I cos beta plus V r O cos beta. Then this V r I cos beta we are taking outside, it will be this, where this V r O upon V r I nothing but the blade velocity coefficient k, and we have taken the ratio cos gamma cos beta as another constant c. So, we can reduce whatever the burden in this equation, and this V r I cos beta, this one V r I cos beta, this one further can be written as V I cos alpha, this minus V v. So, this is going to be represented here V I cos alpha minus V b. So, twice V b V w we can write down here in this manner, and V b is nothing but rho times V I, put it here twice V b V w, it is going to be this one. Okay. So, efficiency of the blade from here we can say it is going to be this twice 1 plus K c rho cos alpha, sorry, this 2 is not going to be here, minus rho square. This is the equation of the efficiency is going to be there, and that can be nothing but 2 rho cos alpha minus rho square, this will be square will be there. Maximum efficiency at what value of rho it will occur, differentiate it with respect to rho and put it 0. Then we will find out maximum efficiency is going to be occurring at rho is equal to cos alpha by 2, and when we will put the value of rho is equal to cos alpha by 2, then it is going to be value of maximum efficiency is equal to cos square alpha by 2 1 plus K c. Now, if ideal case suppose we take, there is no frictional losses, that is K is equal to 1, and if we take C, that is the cos beta upon cos gamma, that is the symmetrical blade. Symmetrical blade means inlet and outlet angle is going to be same. Then this is also going to be equal to 1, and when we put the value of K and C here going to be here, then the maximum blade efficiency it comes as cos square alpha. And what is the burden at that is rho is equal to cos alpha, what is the maximum efficiency? The burden we will put here in this equation V b V w, whatever this one burden is V b into V w. When we put it here, it is going to be twice V b square. So, these are the sum of the calculations, some of the derivation that at what value it is going to be maximum, and we derived it earlier also that what value it is going to be maximum when we plot the efficiency versus rho, or you can say V b upon V i, this is 1 and this is 0, then this value is going to be like this. It is occurring at rho is equal to cos alpha by 2, and this value is occurring at cos square alpha. When K and C is not equal to 1, then it is going to be curve is going to be this. So, this is about the there. Now, we simply move to one of the example. What is there? Steam at this 20 enters in a simple impulse turbine and exhaust at 100 kilopascal pressure. Nozzle efficiency is given, blade velocity coefficient is given, blades it is given symmetrical. Then if we see what is things are going to be there, pressure is given 1400 kilopascal, temperature is this, as it is we have to draw the velocity diagram. So, first thing we must know what is the value of V I. V I nothing, as we have said, it is the enthalpy drop in the nozzle. Suppose this is the process which is occurring in the nozzle, this is 0.1, this is 0.2s, this is 0.2. So, in whatever the value of velocity is equal to under root 2 h 1 minus h 2. This will be the velocity V I. For finding out that pressure and temperature is given, we will take from the steam table the value of enthalpy at point 1 is 2868 at this point. At this point we can find, draw a vertical line and we can find out this value is going to be there. Nozzle efficiency is given to you. With the help of that we can find out h 1 minus h 2 is equal to nozzle efficiency into h 1 minus h 2 s, and with this equation we can find out the value. So, V I we have found out it is 900 meter per second. So, V I is known to you, V B is the blade velocity, diameter is given to you, RPM is given to you, blade velocity coefficient is given to you, nozzle angle is given, and given blades are symmetrical, that beta is equal to gamma. Blade velocity is nothing, pi d n by 60. From here we can find, put the value of d and n, we can find out the blade velocity, it comes 300 meter per second square. Now, we will draw the velocity triangle. Blade velocity is known to you. Suppose 1 centimeter is equal to 100 meter per second. This scale we have taken, then 3 centimeter line we will put here. It will represent the blade velocity at an angle of 20 degree. We draw a line and V I is given to you 900 meter per second, cut it for the 9 centimeter. This will be the V I and join this line. Now, measure this angle will be with the blade angle at the inlet. Now, it is given to you that the blade are symmetrical, means blade angle beta and gamma, this when we measure this, then this blade angle comes around 30 degree. When we will measure, it will find we are coming to be 30 degree. Okay. Then yes, from here, and when k is given to you, now measure this is the VRI. Beta and gamma, beta you can measure, it comes 30 degree. Measure this line, it comes to the 6.3 centimeter, which is representing your 630 meter per second. VRO angle is given to you, it is equal to angle equal to beta is equal to gamma, but VRO is not known to you. We can find out VRO from here, KVRI, it comes 440 meter per second, cut a 440 meter per second line here and join it here. It will complete your velocity triangle. Now, only thing is that you have to measure delta VW, measure this distance, peak distance, it will come your 930 meter per second, mass flow rate is given 1 kg per second, VFI you can measure this distance, VFO you can measure this distance, it comes 3.1 centimeter, it comes 2.2 centimeter. So, once you complete a velocity diagram, now only thing is that you have to put this value into the equation. Power is m by t VW, VB, delta VW is known to you, it comes 930 meter per second, VB is known to you, you can find out the power output, it comes to 9 kilowatt. Blade efficiency, you know the equation, twice VB delta VW upon VI square, VB is known to you, delta VW, VI everything is known to you, find out the blade efficiency. Axial thrust, VFI, VFO, we have measured here VFI, VFO, m by t is given, we can find out the axial thrust. Stage efficiency, nothing, blade efficiency, we have find 0.69, nozzle efficiency is already given to you 0.87, we can find out this, and energy converted to heat, that will be this, it is going to be this. So, in this manner we can do the problem on the steam turbine. Thank you.